こういうの。いつが調子悪いかっていうのはもう一つ分かりにくいと分かりにくいな。では、じゃあ、昨日の続き。Okay, let's continue the previous lectures. So, there are two problems. So where is the original joint surface? And can the original joint surface used? So, that means many Japanese patients, especially in the Japanese patient, the Asian patient most patients have the very severe varus alignment, so-called constitutional varus alignment, and proximal tibial burden. It's the one idea to cut in defined angle, so-called restricted kinematic alignment. Okay, but after that cutting, maybe some ligament imbalance can be occurred. So if we have found such ligament imbalance, we can resolve it with recut, but never release of soft tissue like the mechanical alignment method of arthroplasty. So that is a completely different concept. So on the kinematic alignment, in most procedure, we never release the soft tissue. We can respect the soft tissue balance or in the soft tissue balance. So please have a look. If the flexion and extension are tight, what is the solution? If the both extension gap and the flexion gap is tight, what do you do to adjust the kinematic alignment, to adjust the gap? The both extension flexion. 進展も屈曲も使ったら。Yes, so tibial cut, because once we cut the tibia, both extension and flexion gap are along. Okay, it's very simple. If flexion is tight, but flexion is very tight, but extension is very well. What is the option?
Posterior
or maybe there
femur.
are two options. In kinematic alignment, there is only one solution. Very simple. One solution is decrease the size, the femur size. But in this procedure, posterior aspect of the femur can be decreased. Okay, if once I change to the smaller component, posterior offset can be shortened. So it is not fit for kinematic alignment concept because in the kinematic alignment, the same articular surface, especially in the femur side. So caliper kinematic alignment is the femur-driven operation. The femur first. Decide the femur side component portion first, respecting the patient ordinary articular surface. But it is not for the kinematic alignment to change the joint line, especially on the femur side. So we don't change the femur component side. But the normal procedure, such as mechanical alignment, it's quite simple to change to the one side smaller component. then we can reduce the posterior on the offset on the femur, so flexion gap can be enlarged. But we don't want to change the femur side component articular surface. So we another solution is make the steeper posterior slope. As you know, the contact point in extension is anterior side on the tibial plateau. And in flexion, the contact point move posteriorly. Then once we increase the posterior slope, then flexion gap can be enlarged. So how to do this? It is very not so complicated. So set the same extramedullary jig with the saw guide of the tibia and increase the posterior slope slightly 2 or 3 degrees more. Then recover. So in my experience, to recut influence the ligament gap very effectively. Only 1 degree and 2 degrees ligament balance can be changed dramatically. So never cut more. So more than the 3 or 4 degrees, only cut more 1 degree or 2 degrees. Maybe it is enough in most cases. So recut is very, very sensitive. It is similar to the Oxford knee. Also, similar in the Oxford knee, once we recut over 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters. The gap balance enlarged too much. For example, if I can't insert 3 millimeter feeder gauge, its inflection is very tight. So we need to recut. So once I recut the tibia, then in most cases, we can insert 4 or 5 millimeter feeder gauge very smoothly. So again, effect of recut is very, very big. So never cut much more, too much. Anyway, so tight flexion gap can be resolved by increase the posterior slope. Okay, so please remember. And what is another solution? The tight extension gap, but well balanced in flexion. So tight extension, but well balanced, good flexion. In the mechanical alignment procedure, it's quite simple. Distal femur recut. Once recut the femur, we can easily increase the extension gap, just like Oxford knee. Yes, but in kinematic alignment, we never recut the femur because we don't want to change the femur side articular surface. Okay, so another solution is this is a little bit soft tissue management. For example, remove posterior osteophyte and the posterior capsular release. Or maybe in most cases, especially for the patient with the flexion contracture preoperatively. Most patients have the tightened, contracted posterior capsule. So once we detach the posterior capsule, we can extend the fully or insert and extension. Post extension. 結構これ強引に言ってるんだけども、無理やり伸ばせというふうなことを言ってます。ただ、theoretically, once we restore the patient native articular surface in terms of distal joint, and if we cut the tibia in the same thickness as the component thickness, pre-arthritic condition. The patient might be extended their knees fully. 要するにその人の疾患になる前の状態では、その状態で絶対膝は伸びてたはずやから、まあそこまでは伸びるやろという予想をやってくるわけです。Yes. So another solution is it is quite special technique to insert the posterior capsule vertically. Why? So once we cut the posterior capsule vertically, the posterior capsule can be opened. That can make the space for posterior condyle of component. As you know, once we insert femur trial, posterior capsule can be pushed posteriorly. That can make extension gap to be small. You understand? This is Dr. Murat's theory. Murat sensei. So, I'm sorry. So, I'm talking about a different point. But anyway, it's a very important thing. So, we know there is two types of extension gap. One is a bony gap. So measure only the distance between bone and bone with a component or a trial component. And component gap. Distance between the component surface and the bone. Or using the femur component trial. What is the difference in the posterior condyle? The bony gap, the posterior capsule can be straight because there is no femur component. So capsule runs from the posterior condyle to the tibia, femur posterior condyle and tibia posterior condyle straightly. But once we insert the femur trial, the posterior condyle or femur component can push the posterior capsule like this. Then extension gap can be shortened. Do you understand? So straight with the bony gap is posterior capsule is like this. But once insert posterior capsule like this, because the femur trial posterior condyle or femur component can push the posterior capsule posterior. Once we cut the posterior cap vertically, we can get the big window to the femur components to be inserted in this hole. Well, this is Dr. Kanayama. Once he was working in the Chiba the hospital. Anyway, his theory. So posterior sleep, posterior cut or release the posterior capsule, or force the extension. But if we found this one, another solution is another solution is the cut the distal end of femur. I think that is enough. But in this concept, in the philosophy, they don't want to change the femur articular surface. So manage to the recut of the tibia or soft release, but not MCL. We never release MCL at least, but posterior capsule can be released because that might be contracted due to flexion contracture for operatively. So And another one, well-balanced extension and loose flexion. Maybe this is the same thing, well-balanced extension, but flexion loose. So that in these cases, similar to the previous case, the extension gap is tighter than the flexion. It's the same thing. The thicker inserted and reject the extension for it. So, in this case, so this option is to manipulate the PCR. In this case, the PCR sacrifice and use the CS. CS means the deep dish type component. So this is another solution. If extension is too tight to sacrifice the PCR, then we can get a good extension gap. But I don't like to sacrifice the PCR. Maybe in this case, I will recut the PCR. But in this case, this is the concept of original kinematic alignment. They don't want to change the femur side joint line. Okay, that's all. で、分かった。要するにもう大腿骨を変えずになるべく、脛骨とかそっちの方であれを変えようとしてる。もう彼らにとっては大腿骨の関節面っていうのがもう一番大事っていうふうなことでやっています。あ、もっとちゃんと。はい、ちゃんと。Good morning.
Yes. Morning, Professor.
いつも参加してくれて。Okay, see you. See you.
See you tomorrow.
はい、ちゃんと先生。Hello.
Yes, Professor.